This is terrifying to me because, I mean, first of all, because it's late at night, there are probably bags under my eyes like you wouldn't believe. But yeah, this scares me a lot. And it shouldn't. And it's not because I haven't talked in front of a camera before. I mean, that's also not to say that I am comfortable in front of a camera. I'm not. But I want this to be as unedited as possible because I just ramble. That I had a bunch of things that I wanted to say while it was fresh on my mind. And I wasn't going to talk for a very long time. It was just like a bunch of things that, you know, sometimes when there are enough things on my mind, I can't sleep. And so the reason this is terrifying for me is because for some reason there is this like, well, I mean, okay, let's just do this in order. First of all, the reason that I'm doing this is because I've kind of felt like there's something missing. And from the very first video that I posted, it was like, I had this thing where I wanted the channel to encapsulate my personality, yet even with that, with the idea that it was going to encapsulate my personality, there were still some things that I was too scared to do. The things that are like the backbone of my personality, I was really scared to do. This being not just one of them, the one thing that I was too scared to do, even though it's kind of fundamental to my personality. I'm a rambler. I'm a shy rambler, but I am a rambler. And much to the chagrin of everybody that I know, I mean, if you can't already tell with the videos, you would be very surprised how much footage I cut out of every video that I do. With the earlier ones, I would cut out like, I would record for about 45 minutes, and that would turn into a 9-minute video. The first video that I did was, I think it was 45 minutes, and it turned into a 9-minute video or somewhere around there. And it's just because, like, I'm afraid of, I don't know. It's not like I'm afraid of exposure. It's just like, maybe I am. Because I'm shy. I don't know. The whole reason for this thing was to encapsulate my personality. And in addition to that, to get over a few of my fears, you know? I mean, oh man, I'm opening up a lot more than I thought I would, but you know, that's the whole point. I don't know. It's just interesting because until recently, I didn't really know a lot about myself, and it makes me feel silly to say that, and I don't know why. But legitimately, I lacked a lot of confidence because I just didn't know what kind of a person I was until recently. And then I started to realize a little bit more of, you know, what kind of a person I am. And that's part of the reason why it seems silly to say, but me starting a YouTube channel, even though right now, I don't know, it sounds silly because my channel is so small, it's like, oh yeah, I took this big step to create a channel. And it's like really tiny. But despite how small it is, it still is really scary for me. I've talked on stage before. I mean, I've performed on stage before. I used to sing in high school. We did a concert where I had to introduce people. And so I've talked on stage before, unscripted, off the cuff. And it was scary, but it wasn't like...
So now I bet you're excited to hear me introduce the next piece again.
I don't know. I talked just like I am now. I'm not even completing a sentence. And I'm not getting to the point that I was trying to get to in a short amount of time. But anyway, I've talked on stage before in front of maybe like 100, 200 people. That was terrifying to me. A packed classroom for me is very scary. But, you know, even though this scares me to do, to just ramble and not complete a sentence and not know how long, or not a sentence, not complete a thought and not know how long the video is going to be, even though it scares me, it's, you know, I kind of want to do things that scare me. And it's a recent development. A year ago, if you asked me to do this, I would have avoided it at all costs. The fact that this terrifies me and it has no substance. The reason it terrifies me is because it has no substance. There's no point to this at all. I don't have a drawing plan for this. It's literally just talking, and that, like, I'm not even going to put any graphics in this. I guess you could call it a vlog, but it is much to the chagrin of the people that I know that I ramble so much. And especially in the past few days, like, I ramble all the time. And I always say, like, I was talking to my sister the other day, I was talking to my brother the other day, but it's always like I'm talking at them. If I know someone then they'll never get to live life with me with my mouth closed. In light of that, or inside of that, in sight of that, in light of that, I figured this is a good way to get it out. I'm a rambler and I'm a shy rambler, but I need to ramble in order to organize thoughts in my head. And I don't think that's a super uncommon thing, but the point that I was getting to, that's not the only reason I want to do this. I'm afraid of it annoying people, but that doesn't matter. The point is that I hate barriers. Every time I interact with a person, in person, or text a person that I don't really know that well, I always talk to them or text them like we've known each other for 15 years. And every time I text someone, I hate texting people because it's always expected to have like this intro if you haven't texted in a while or if you don't know each other very well. Like, hey, how's life? How's it going? And I absolutely hate that. I wish that I could just start conversations with those people as if we had been having a conversation for the past 3 days. You know, and with people that I know, I text like that. And I wish it was like that with everyone. But the point is that I hate barriers so much. And at the same time, I'm so afraid of breaking those barriers. And especially with the internet. The thing is, you're careful with every person that you interact with, whether it's on the internet or in person. The extra barriers, I don't like. I don't know. Like, you're real people. There are almost 50 of you, but that's a large number. To me, it's terrifying. And if you haven't noticed, like, I don't have any social media. I do have social media, but not connected to, like, my name here. I don't have an art account on Instagram. I don't have one on Twitter. And it's not even because of, like, you know, it's not even because of anything that's going on social media, you know, like I want to stay away from. I don't care. I'm not afraid of that stuff. It's it's just the sheer fact that I'm shy. You know, I don't like marketing myself and I don't like advertising myself. That was redundant, but it's true. I have a really hard time putting myself out there, which is why I say that it was a leap or a big step for me to start a channel, because I would not do something like that. Or at least me the past 5 years, ever since I graduated high school, so 6 years, I wouldn't have done something like that. What was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. I hope that I can remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, here's what I was saying. As much as I can, my point is that I want to show you guys who I am, like how I actually am. And it's really tough because when I'm alone and talking to a camera by myself, I don't have feedback, and so it's hard for me to keep a train of thought going. But with practice, like, you know, compared to the beginning days, I'm getting better at it. But with practice, I will probably get better. Not probably, I will get better. But like when I'm talking to an actual person, I talk a lot. Like, I can go on and on and on and on and just go from one subject to another. And, you know, whether people want me to or not. And it kind of makes me feel badly, you know, because I like to think that I'm a good conversationalist, you know, like two-way conversation. But occasionally when I get really passionate about something, I just, you know, I wouldn't call it bulldozing, but I go on for a long time. Case in point, this video I've been recording for about 21 minutes and I still haven't gotten everything that's in my brain out of my brain. But that doesn't matter. And that's the thing. That is the whole point. Even though I'm terrified of doing something like this because it's boring and, you know, like, I like listening to people talk, but not everybody likes listening to people talk. There's no drawing. I mean, I might put a drawing at the end. Like, if I feel like drawing tomorrow morning, I'll put a drawing in at the end as, like, credits or something. No commentary or anything. Just, you know, quiet drawing. You can just enjoy the ambience. But, like, see, this is my point. Like, what was I saying before I went on that side tangent? So yeah, anyway, because I want to show you, and that's another thing. Me saying you is really hard for me because it's hard for me to connect in my brain or register that I'm talking to a camera, but I'm actually talking to people, you know? And so, like, me saying you, thinking about it, you know, if someone was watching me record right now, it would be a little bit silly, or I feel a little silly. But, like, you know, I don't feel as silly as I did in the beginning. With the other videos, I kind of avoid saying the term you. In fact, I think there's a video where I say, like, who am I talking to? I'm talking to nobody, you know, but it kind of, captures, and I don't know why I'm doing this so much with my hand. It kind of captures what I'm so shy about, and, I've gotten better. But that's the barrier that I'm talking about. I hate barriers, like, I want to talk to you guys directly as much as I can, with every opportunity. I want to have a communication. It sounds weird. And I don't know why it sounds weird. I don't even think it'll sound that weird to anyone else but myself. Okay, the point is, with showing who I actually am, I don't want to edit this video too much. I mean, with the pauses and stuff, I'll cut those out. But, like, with all of the stuff that I talked about, it is so disconnected because I'm by myself and no one's here to keep me on track. I want to keep all that in there. Because, if the point of this channel is to encapsulate my personality and everything that I talked about in the beginning, it has to encapsulate my personality, my real personality. And I think, is it the phrase case in point? The rest of the videos on my channel, it's pretty rambly. I literally just talk about nothing, but you wouldn't know that it's about nothing because I edit it. But, just to try to keep a coherent thought train going. So the previous videos are actually accurate to who I actually am. And I say actually a lot, so I'm keeping that in there because that is part of me. The unfiltered train of thought where you can see how scatterbrained I am, especially when I'm talking by myself. I don't actually remember where I started. I think I started with "this terrifies me," and this is why, because I can't keep it together. Anyway, I'll get better. But I said something about, like, something's missing, and that's what I was talking about. Like, something's missing in between videos, like, I do a lot of drawing videos, and I did some Sharpie coloring videos. I even did a cross-stitch video. But, like, with all those videos, it was, like, the commentary wasn't planned, but, like, all of the projects, it takes a lot of time, but that was planned. But I haven't done anything that wasn't planned. And, for the past few days, I've been thinking about trying to stick with, like, a thing that you found that worked, And I wasn't actually going to talk about this for a long time. I don't really have any grounds on which to talk about it, but I realized something. And I might as well say it now because why not? I realized something, or at least I theorized something. I realized something. You know how people are, like, afraid of where YouTube is going? They get kind of discouraged about how YouTube has changed since, like, 2014 to 16, that era. I understand, because I feel the exact same way. But, like, I hear all these people, and I'm literally just talking in a vacuum, so just let me ramble for a second. Let me do thought experiments. The 2016 era, everybody misses it, And it occurred to me the other day, everybody misses it, but they don't think they can go back to it. And there are some factors, with the development of technology and, like, everything that has changed with the internet at large, but art is still the same. The way that you make art is still the same. And yet people are thinking that it's not. I understood that for the longest time, but then it occurred to me the other day, if people miss the old days so much, why not give it back to them? And the old days, meaning, like, the days when people just made whatever they wanted. And it was fun because, like, random people would just post stuff, and then people wouldn't really worry about, for the most part, I mean, I don't really know. I haven't been around that long. But, like, I mean, I was around back then. I'm not that much of a child. Like, back then, people didn't really seem to worry about an algorithm. They just did what they liked to do and what they thought was fun or entertaining. But now it's like there's this game, and there's nothing wrong with playing a game. I'm specifically referring to the people that are getting discouraged about it. I have no grounds on which to talk about it, obviously, but like I said, art is still the same. Like, the way that art connects with people will not change. And so if people miss the old days, give it back to them. The thing that you give back to people is just making things that you're passionate about. And, you know, not everybody knows what they're passionate about, but I mean, like, not worrying about what people like to see or like what will get people to click on a video. There's nothing wrong with that. Just like, again, I'm just referring to the people that are discouraged about it, that used to make things that they enjoyed, and now they don't because they're so afraid of an algorithm. Like I said, I'm just talking into a vacuum. But this is part of the reason I'm doing this. Because I can get caught into a trap of just making drawing videos, which is the main thing that I do in real life too. Like, this is real life, but you know, this is pretty much all I do. Not really, but it's like the main hobby that I have. What does this have to do with the barrier? I'm really trying here. I'm trying to think really hard to try to keep my thoughts straight. It's just interesting to me, you know? I don't like it when people are discouraged. I am very empathetic. I cry when people cry, no matter how much I know the person. But when people are discouraged about something, you know, part of me just wants to take them by the shoulders and just say, everything's fine, you know, just chill. But I also have the same problem. My sister does that to me all the time. She always takes me by the shoulders and just, you know, tries to talk sense into my brain. Because I get those thoughts all the time. Like, am I doing enough? But I'm also not the kind of person, like I said, to market myself. So I think I am doing enough. If I want to stay true to who I am, I just kind of do stuff. And all my life, as I do stuff, I don't really focus on trying to get people to notice me, you know, to an extent. I mean, I was a teenager once, so maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just because I'm not the kind of person that likes to market myself, but I do have those times where I'm like, am I doing enough? I guess I just want to, I don't know how well this will age, but I guess I want to try to show that you can do whatever you want and be fine. And a lot of people don't know what they want. And I completely understand that, because it wasn't until last January that I knew what I wanted. And it changes a lot, but I finally landed on something that I wanted to do. Case in point. So I completely understand that. But the thing that was preventing me from knowing what I wanted was being so worried about what everybody else wanted me to do. And that is such a hurdle to jump. But like, people in general want people to do what they want to do. People are very entertained by someone doing something that they love to do. And they know when someone is passionate about something, or if they're just doing it because they think that people want to see them do it. People want to watch people do what they love to do. At least I do. And that was the old YouTube. At least in the sphere of YouTube that I was in, you know, like, and it's no secret, I'm a Markiplier fan because I've talked about him in probably every other video that I have. I remember like 2014 to 16 and 17 and to an extent 18 and 19. That's a lot of years. But the teens, I remember, at least the people that I watched, and the people that I watch that I still watch now haven't changed. Mark has been doing the same thing since 2013, and he's just, the only way he's changed is in that he's gotten better at what he does. Majority of people who made videos back then loved what they did. And I'm not saying that majority of people don't love what they do now, but, you know, there's a fear around doing what you want. And everybody knows that everybody should do what they want to do. Everybody knows it, but when it comes to yourself doing something that you want to do, you completely forget it. It goes out the window. And I am a prime example of it, because I know people would want to just see me do what I love to do and not change that and just make what I want to make. Even if I don't do some drawing videos, you know, because I am a person who jumps from one thing to another. And it just so happens that it's been over a year since I've been drawing with charcoal, and I haven't really stopped, you know, barring a few months in between when life got in the way. I can't guarantee that I'll, you know, do charcoal every single day, because I'm just not that kind of person. You know, I wish I was, but at the same time, the whole reason I started this thing was to have a way to do everything at once. And so I know that people, would want to watch me do what I love to do, no matter what it is, as long as my heart is in it. But I forget it so easily. And this is case in point, because I've been thinking about doing something like this for the past day and a half or 2 days. But it terrifies me. Not entirely because it's something different, but that is probably 75% of the reason it terrifies me. There's no promise of a drawing. It's just me talking. There's a fear there, but it's not that I want people, it's not that I want droves of people to click on a video of me talking. It's that I don't want to bore people, and I don't want to disappoint people. I hate disappointing people, but that shouldn't matter, because this is me. I talk. That has already been encapsulated in a lot of my videos, and every single one, all 19 of them. This is how I talk. And I want to show as much as I can how I talk and the obstacles that I have to go through in order to get a thought out. And this video will probably be a little bit long. My microphone probably didn't want me to say everything else that I said in the rest of the video. I talked for another 20 minutes and my microphone died, and unfortunately it was connected to my camera, so there is no audio to be picked up. But you work with what you got. And they're not going to stop me that easily. I'm just going to read my own lips and translate for you. Here we go.